So we're gonna explore today the standard forearm plank, as well as the progressions and regressions for whatever place you're in. There's no better exercise for intervertebral stability or the local core stabilization than a forearm plank. So let's get this going, yeah. Okay, for your standard forearm plank, we are going to bring our forearms parallel, our fingers are spread, and we're pressing the inner wrist creases down. I'm not clasping my hands for this, actually. And I tuck my toes and I squeeze my buttocks, and when I squeeze my buttocks, I lift my knees up. Then from here, I pull the navel to the spine, and I lift everything up. Now my gaze is slightly forward, not like sticking my chin out. And I'm pulling the navel in and I'm squeezing the buttocks. So I almost feel like the tailbone lengthens down. I'm like already shaking. And I'm pulling the lower belly up and I'm pulling the fronts of the rib cage in. I'm keeping the upper body stable and I am breathing. And we want to stay here for at least 30 seconds if you can. Okay, because that's effing hard, there are regressions that can help you build up that intrinsic core strength if that variation is too much. The first one is putting your knees down. So you'll find the same setup as we just did, forearms parallel, the toes are gonna tuck, the knees are gonna lift, and then you're gonna lift your hips up and find the full variation, and then squeezing the buttocks, keeping everything the same, you'll just lower your knees. Again, they're not underneath your hips, and I'm still in the plank, like I'm still shaking doing this. So this is a perfectly good regression. Another regression you can do is actually to bring your hands to the floor. So sorry, yogis, the hand on the floor plank is actually a regression. So to come up into this, you bring your hands underneath your shoulders, your knees underneath your hips. You step one leg back and press through that heel and squeeze that leg buttock. Then you lift the other knee up and you stay here. Notice I'm not rounding my shoulders, nor am I collapsing in. If you're doing either of those, go down to your knees and go onto the forearms, or you can even stay on the knees here and stay like this. If that too, picking the knees up is difficult. But again, deep breaths in and out. Okay, again, if you're like a psycho like me and want to make this harder, stability ball time. So, forearms on the stability ball. This is hard, I will say. We want to press down and make sure we're stable. So there's a squeezing inward, and then again, we lift everything up. This is majorly hard. So make sure you're not tilting the tailbone up or like shrugging the shoulders up. All right, party people, that is a prone iso abs, AKA forearm plank. It's one of the best exercises you can do. Try to build up to 3 sets of 30 seconds, which is about 8 to 10 breaths. It's about 30 seconds. You can always do more, right? Like no amount of plank is gonna hurt you. But again, we do want to keep the face off. We don't want to stick the chin out. We don't want to arch our back. So go as long as you can maintain form, and then again, repeat it 2 to 3 sets, and you're good to go.